It's been 40,000 years since Jake made a YouTube video. That is absolutely 100% correct. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the channel today. This is big video. For anyone who doesn't know, maybe you're new to the channel, I literally, since the last video, have moved from Central Kentucky all the way to Las Vegas. Now, I moved because of work. I got a new job that I've started. So I've been really selective and more purposeful about the volumes that I've been buying. Not only that, but also I was fortunate enough for my birthday, because my birthday was on September 19th, not too long ago. I actually got a special care package of like 6 different volumes of manga from a publishing company. So we're going to showcase that and more in this video today. It's not manga, but I think since I last moved, I got this little like Luffy figure, little sitting Luffy figure. He kind of sits up here with the One Piece crew. Just wanted to show you that. I didn't actually think about what playmat you all were gonna see in this video, so hopefully if you like Pokemon, you enjoy the Hoenn playmat. It is like my favorite generation of Pokemon. Anyways, this first group of volumes that I'm gonna show you is a free gift from Ize Press. They sent me several different new release titles. I think by the time this video released, most of them, if not all of them, will have come out. So I will put the release date in the corner up here as we're going along through these volumes. I like all these volumes. I think I've read all the ones that I didn't already know about. So let's just get into it. This first one from Ize Press is Bocchi the Rock Volume 1. Now, if you know me and you know me in our Discord server, link in the description down below, Twitter account, anything like that, you know I love Bocchi the Rock. So very excited after the anime exploded. Honestly, one of my favorite anime of all time, just the work that it was put in. But I've heard from so many different people that this series, the anime blew it away. The manga was already so good, but the anime took it to another level. So I'm very excited to read Bocchi the Rock Volume 1. Thank you again to Ize Press for sending this to me, because I was going to order it no matter what. I was going to put it on my bookshelf. But maybe you don't know this series. Maybe you haven't heard me talk about this. This series is basically about a girl with extreme social anxiety, but she wants to be in a band. She's a really great guitarist. She's a really great musician, and she wants to form music with her buddy. She wants to overcome and become this, you know, more sociable person. And the comedy in here is fantastic. The music in the anime, at least, is really good. And so I'm curious as to how they play the music in the manga version, because if you think of like K-On!, right? K-On!, the anime had a huge impact with the music, but in terms of the manga that, you know, was also a Ize Press, the manga doesn't really showcase the music part. It doesn't showcase those concerts. So I'm very curious how this is gonna go. I haven't opened it up yet, haven't read it, but I know that I love the series because the anime was just incredible, and I can't wait to read this. This next series I've talked about on the channel before. It is Volume 4 of The Boxer. Now, this is a manhwa from JH. I have loved JH's works as of late from Ize Press. Thank you so much, Ize Press and Ize Press, again, for sending me several of these awesome volumes. This is actually the second Ize Press volume of The Boxer that I've gotten from them, and I just love this series. It is one of those sports series that I have really come to love. It's about boxing, right? How many times have we gotten boxing anime? You may think of a couple off the top of your head, but this one is a little bit more dark. This one is a little bit more like there's different types of heroes. I think it really does a good job of mixing in elements of like Blue Lock that I've talked about on this channel, and I think actually I'm set to talk about it later. And then more of your traditional sports manga. Boxing is an individual sport, so there are individual desires, goals, achievements, things like that. But I'm very curious where the story is going to go here in Volume 4. I haven't read it yet, but if you're looking for a new kind of early volume series of a sports series that you should get into, The Boxer is definitely one of them. All right, this one is a tongue twister that Ize Press sent. The Ephemeral Scenes of Setsuna's Journey. So this is an isekai series. This is about an individual who is isekai'd into another world, the 68th, I believe it was, person who's been isekai'd, but because of this country's like constitution, rules, things like that, this person was outcasted. But coming across this other adventurer here, our protagonist, our main character, gets like a third attempt at life, and it's the journey of Setsuna's journey, you know, the ephemeral scenes of Setsuna's journey. This is a cute little series. There are some beautiful points of art in here as well, especially with the characters and stuff like that. So if you're looking, again, I mean, I'm said this before, and Yen Press usually sends me volume 1s because they know I like reading literally anything. Then this might be a cool, fun adventure that is very enjoyable that you could come across and definitely should try. If you're looking at more of a shonen adventure, more action-packed adventure, look at Jungle Juice. So Jungle Juice is a manhwa about a boy with a secret. If you think of something like Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man has aspects of himself that resemble a spider. In this world, our main character has some attributes of a dragonfly, but he's keeping it a secret. If the world finds out, he's outcast. He's all alone in a situation that he doesn't want to come across. So what exactly happens when he meets someone like him? How does it go? This is a series that has action packed inside of it, and I think we all kind of relate to the feeling of like we don't want to be alone, and the way that this is going right now I think is very enjoyable. I think it's pretty easy to digest actually, and could be a lot of fun. If you're a fan of like My Hero Academia, this is a series that you could go into and probably enjoy. I think there's going to be a lot of similarities between the two series that you can pull from, especially if you already like My Hero Academia. Jump into this. This volume 1 just released. I've seen a lot of people getting this and reading it, so get it on your shelf before it goes away. All right, here we go. We've got Overgeared. So this is like your solo leveling kind of deal where it's like a video gamey aspect into this series. Our character is basically isekai'd into his favorite video game, and there's some twists and turns with his level. Maybe he doesn't start off super strong, but he ends up finding this special thing or maybe some god tier items that can help him out on his journey. This is another manhwa as well from Ize Press. Very, very cool. Really like this. The Team Argo art in here is actually pretty all right. I think it's pretty well done overall, so looking forward to reading more of this. Hopefully, you know, we can get more of these soon. I know manhwa takes a little bit longer to come out because it's, I mean, in my opinion, manhwa is a high quality too. Again, with the isekai stuff, all you isekai lovers out there, really getting your fill with Yen Press and Ize Press right now. All right, so here we go with one that is much more historic, one that is much more impactful in the anime and manga industry over time, and we have the premium collection edition of Clamp Tokyo Babylon Volume 1. Now, I think I was one of the first people I think to post about this from Yen Press, because I saw a couple people like repost that like first look at this, that, or the other. Very curious. If you do not know, Clamp is a all-female group that create like manga and stuff like that, so it's very, very cool. I've read some other Clamp series like Chobits, and so this is really, really sweet because this is a premium collection. This is a reprint of the original series. There are some beautiful color pages inside of here. I know me showing you right now doesn't like really do it justice, I feel like, but you follow along 3 different characters, a pair of siblings right here, and this other third person. I won't spoil too much. Basically, our main character here exorcises demons or anomalies, things like that, over in Tokyo. So this is a very, very fun, mysterious, kind of supernatural series. There is a lot of mystery to unfold. I really liked how Volume 1 ended, leaving me wanting to go into Volume 2. I think it was a really good stopping point. And this is a reprinted series from, what was it? I looked at it in here. I thought it was in here. Okay, I gotta look it up. Tokyo Babylon, the original run going from 1990 to 1993. So long time ago, you know, 30 years ago. And finally getting a beautiful Yen Press premium collection. So this was very fun. I really enjoyed this. And again, you're into the supernatural thing, exorcising demons and stuff like that, JiuJitsu Kaisen, that kind of thing, maybe try it. So the final volume here, we have a Glitch, at least the final volume from Yen Press and Ize Press. series. This is about an investigation club trying to solve these mysteries. Very, very cool. Very, very interesting as well. The art in here, the art style is very unique. If you just see from the covers here, it's not something that I feel like I've really seen, not a style that I like traditionally think of when it comes to like manga and stuff like that. So very, very cool, very, very refreshing as well to get a glimpse into this. So I won't flip too much more, but again, with the whole supernatural mysteries kind of thing, Glitch Volume 1, this is a volume that I believe has already released by the time this video comes out. So go check that out. So now that we're done with all the Yen Press volumes, now let's go into, oh gosh, sorry, I was pulling this stack of books. It's a little heavy. Let's go into a bunch of the other volumes that I bought in the last couple months, or at least the last time I made a video. The first one I've got for you is volume 2 of Tista. So this is a volume and a end of a series by Tatsuya Endo, and if you do not know off the top of your head who that is, this is from the creator of Spy Family. So it was really interesting to see this 2-volume series of Tista. I did read through both of them and I did enjoy it. I won't talk too much about it because I have some other Tatsuya Endo stuff that I want to show you in this video, and I want to talk more about Tatsuya Endo as a whole creator, not just Spy Family, because I think there's a lot to talk about. But this was a cool shonen series. If you really like the idea of Spy Family, of people having like double lives, then this also fits right up your alley. I thought the story was decently paced. I mean, yeah, it was 2 volumes and it wasn't too many chapters, but I did find it was enjoyable. It was easy to read. It was comfortable. It was kind of suspenseful, like towards the end too, which I thought was really, really neat. I don't know if this was like a rushed ending, like Shonen Jump saying like, hey, we're gonna axe your series after X amount of chapters, you gotta end it by then. I don't know if it was something like that, but even if it was, I think it was done very, very well by Tatsuya Endo, and I hope they look back on this series and I hope that they enjoyed this series and what they were able to create in this short series, because I don't know, I really enjoyed it. The next one I have is Tokyo Revengers. This is the 7th omnibus volume, volumes 13 and 14 of the original series. Tokyo Revengers, I have not read like any of this manga, but I can tell you all about it because of the anime. Tokyo Revengers, kind of like time travel and also delinquents and gang violence. You've got this guy that wishes he could change the past after seeing someone he knows dies of gang violence. Come to find out, somehow he gets transported back in time, like 10 years or something like that, and he's got the opportunity to change history, to rewrite history, to prevent his friend from dying. But as you could guess, in time travel, things have an effect on other things. You know, you change one thing, it butterflies effect into all these other things. So it's a constant battle to try to rewrite and create perfection in how he wants things to end. And so I enjoyed this series, at least the anime. I have to get into the manga. I probably should now. I'm at 13 and 14, but I do know that this series is very popular if you're into like a shonen action kind of thing, some drama. Very, very good, very fun, or maybe not fun, maybe painful at times. RIP, real ones will know. Maybe you're looking more into shoujo side and you want to try out some mystery of your own in that. Look no further than Don't Call It Mystery. This is the 2nd omnibus, volumes 3 and 4. So I haven't read this yet, but I did read the first one before I decided to take another job and move across the country. I really enjoyed the first volume of this series, actually. The story follows our main character and kind of a police force as well. And at least in the first volume, he is incredibly intuitive and also very observant. And so our main character helps solve mysteries. Don't call it mystery. And so again, I haven't read this volume as of yet, but I assume it continues that adventure. It goes more and more into the story. This is a very, very well-selling series in Japan right now. I very much enjoy it. I understand the hype and I can't wait to get into this one now that I have more time in my life. Pretty good series if you're interested. The next one, I got a new release. It's That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, volume 16 of the novels. Now, I have no idea where slime is in this story, in this part of the story. I am not caught up in that part, but I do know that I love slime. I've watched all the anime that's out for it, besides like the Slime Diaries. I don't think I've watched those yet, but like I've seen the extra movie, I've watched the seasons, pretty good. Basically, our main character here is killed and isekai'd, and he transports into a slime, kind of the lowest of creatures, but well, really it's at the beginning of the volume. Because of his training and things like that he just does in his time, he becomes insanely overpowered. And so this is the story of his adventure of being super overpowered with a little bit of difficulty at times. And I'm curious to see if this has a little bit of difficulty in it as well, because you see he's like falling apart. I mean, Rimuru is pretty top tier. So I'm curious to see where this goes. If you want a long isekai series to get into, look no further than Slime. The next one, I have 2 volumes of this series, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2, volumes 1 and 2. So continuing on with JoJo's, I know it's been a while since I've showed a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure volume in a video, but I was able to come across, I think it was an FYE, and FYE sometimes has like buy one get one half off on manga. And so this time, sometimes they don't do this, this time they were allowed to do hardback books on that sale. So I went ahead and I bought 2 of them, because you should buy the hardback books on sale. I really enjoyed part 1 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was fun, it was wacky, it was wild, but it was really, really beautiful and really, really cool, especially for a series that is so influential and has been going on so long as well. Really, really like JoJo. Still gotta get into the anime, but that is for another day. And now another volume. Gotta get another stack of books. Okay, this next series that I got, 2 volumes of this series, now completely up to date, or at least I was when I bought these volumes. I don't know if another one's come out since. I don't think so. We have volumes 10 and volumes 11 of Rascal Does Not Dream Of. Rascal Does Not Dream Of is this like supernatural mystery kind of series revolving around the idea and concepts of the adolescent syndrome. Yeah, adolescent syndrome. I had to relook at it. I couldn't think of the word. This is a series that I really love. I've seen the anime. It's very, very cool. It's very fun. It does like a really great mix, in my opinion, of like the supernatural aspects, the drama aspects, the intensity at times, but also the jokes. I think the jokes are really well done in this series, and I can't wait to get more into the novels to, you know, really showcase those jokes once again to see how it actually goes from the source material itself. This is volumes 10 and 11, and I believe this one, the movie is gonna cover, I think, this one and a previous one, or does it involve this one? I'm not sure. There's a movie coming out soon for Rascal Does Not Dream Of, and you bet your butt I'm gonna watch it, and you bet your butt I'm gonna enjoy it. Well, hopefully. I mean, I hope I enjoy it. Now, a series that I really can't tell you if I have enjoyed or not, but I keep reading it nonetheless. It's Rent a Girlfriend volume 20. So hard to believe that this series is at 20 volumes now. Rent a Girlfriend, still cringe, but you know me, I love cringe. And I don't know, like, I just keep reading this series, man. Like, I can't really tell you. Like, I was reorganizing these bookshelves of like all-time favorites, you know, over here, and like the ones that I enjoy and like the ones that I keep reading, you know, and Rent a Girlfriend is one of them. It's one of my favorite, you know, more of like hot trash series, and I can't really tell you why. There's just something about it that just keeps me coming back and back and back. If you don't like Rent a Girlfriend, but maybe you want some action in your shonen-ness, so volume 5 of the omnibus of Fire Force. I love Fire Force. I think Fire Force is one of the best anime that I have seen, mostly because of how it does with the visuals, but also the sound. Oh, the sound. Just watch Fire Force with surround sound and like bass boosters. Oh man, I don't know an anime that does it like Fire Force, really. That's not like a music anime or something like that. Fire Force is a series, an action series, a battle action series of these people in this world that have powers and attributes of fire. These people spontaneously combust into fire people or whatever, and that's bad. So you have this crew, the Fire Force. They're basically a bunch of firefighters. They put out these bad guys that spontaneously combust or like whatever, try to take over the world, all that jazz in a bag of chips. There's a lot of mystery. I think the singles just finished. Fire Force recently wrapped up its manga not too long ago, and I think the final volume came out in the US and the rest of the world just very recently. Me being slightly far behind, I decided to get the omnibus volume because I think the omnibus volumes are pretty sick with these characters on the side. So that's going to be the way that I enjoy it. You can do whatever you want. I think probably the single volumes are a little bit easier to get. I feel like I see the single volumes a lot more than the omnibus volumes. Maybe that's just where I'm living right now. I don't really know. But anyways, great series, good art. I'm excited to read more of this. Speaking of beautiful art in a series, I have Aruna. I don't know how to actually pronounce that one. That's just my guess. I call this series The Girl from the Other Side. This is an incredible, awesome, beautiful, gorgeous, mysterious, gothic, like mystery series. I love this. I don't know what to tell you without spoiling it for you. There are these people, these creatures, I can't even call them people, that are like cursed or whatever. But there's this little girl that's usually on these covers and stuff. Oh gosh, she's not here. Shoot, where is she? There's this little girl that's part of this with this guy, Doc, or is his name Doc? Teacher, I was close, senpai. But there's one rule between the two of them. She cannot touch him. And so that's all I'm gonna tell you about that because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I really think that you should just pick up volume 1 and I think you should read it. There's also these omnibus collector's editions that have been coming out. They're absolutely beautiful. They're phenomenal. They're gorgeous. If you're okay with spending a couple extra bucks to get what is essentially a couple volumes at a time instead of buying single individual volumes, definitely go get it that way because I think they're worth the money. But for me, I only have like 2 volumes to get of this series left, so I'm just buying the single volumes. Now, one of my favorite covers of this haul, it is Comey Can't Communicate volume 26. So you know me, I love the Comey Can't Communicate series, rom-com, kind of slice of life stuff, just short stories. The story slowly progresses and it's progressed a lot in the last couple volumes, I feel like. So really awesome job with Tomohito Oda, just doing a really good job with this series. And this is one of my favorite volume covers, just an FYI, because of the Easter eggs that are inside of this. Okay, there's really only one Easter egg inside of this, but this volume right here on the bed in this is another Comey Can't Communicate volume. This is volume 24. And so I love stuff like that. I'm really curious because I haven't read this yet. I wonder if like this scene will come in and with Comey Can't Communicate like on the bed, and I wonder if they'll like make a joke or whatever about like it being super relatable or something like that. I don't know. That would just make me giggle. That would just make my day. But Comey Can't Communicate, similar to Bocchi the Rock, this is a girl with extreme social anxiety, but her goal is to make 100 friends. Very good series, very fun series in my opinion. It is a little bit longer, and I know some people complain about the pacing of this series. So if you're someone that really likes kind of shorter series, you don't like to do the long haul and stuff like that, maybe not. But if you do and don't mind the long haul like myself, I mean, I read Rent a Girlfriend. I have One Piece up here. Like, I'm fine with a long series. This is another good one to read, especially for you rom-com lovers or your high school, like just slice of life stuff. Your Horimiya fans out there, this is another good one. I gotta take my socks off. What the heck? It's so warm in here. I should turn on my fan. I haven't turned on my fan. Living in this new house, just trying to get used to it. Okay, a series that is also 20 some volumes, but is incredible pretty much the whole way. It is JiuJitsu Kaisen. This is volume 20. Wow, that guy is jacked. JiuJitsu Kaisen in the anime really hurt my feelings. Don't spoil it in the comments if you know. It's kind of insane what's going on right now in the JiuJitsu Kaisen series, and I believe in Japan the manga series is having some incredible moments right now as well, some insane moments. So I'm curious to see where our adventure goes with the JiuJitsu Kaisen series. This is one of the more popular shonen series out right now, so you've probably heard of it, whether you like shonen battle action or whatever. ever or not. This is up there as well as one of my favorites. I'll tell you that. Another one of my beloved favorites, Kaguya-sama Love is War, volume 26. We are so close to the end. When is this ending? 28 volumes in this series, just 2 more to go now. My heart is so full. This is another great series. This is a seinen kind of rom-com series of these 2 high school kids. There is some psychological battles that happen all the time, but the comedy is on point in this series. It is incredible. It is so fun. But Akasaka is a wonderful, wonderful creator, and I am sure this series is going to end phenomenally. It is going to be good. It is going to be fun. I can't wait for it. If you want to check out a really good reason why you should read or watch Kaguya-sama, Mother's Basement has like an hour-long video essay video. It's one of my favorite YouTube videos of all time. I aspire to be like him someday, talking about the series, how great it is, and why it's so great. It's really, really good. This series just actually released a box set the other day, Chainsaw Man. Now, this is a little bit different, though, in terms of the Chainsaw Man series. This is not in the box set. This is buddy stories. This is kind of a conglomeration of side stories in light novel form of the famous Chainsaw Man series, Tatsuki Fujimoto. I have not read this yet, and I am such a fake Chainsaw Man fan for not reading it yet. It's like extra little blurps that weren't included in the original manga or the anime, where it's like extra adventures with Aki, with Power, you know, all of the crew in figuring out these mysteries, I guess, you know, or just like these adventures that they go on. It's just, man. There are some illustrations in there as we're flipping around. Maybe you were able to see, get a glimpse, get a little sneak peek. But as a Chainsaw Man, I love stuff like this. I love extra stories that I can get into, maybe dive into the characters a little bit more, just get a little relaxing break of the fun and excitement that Chainsaw Man brings in every chapter, or pretty much every chapter. These aren't new releases, but I gotta catch up on these. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Familia Chronicles, episode Lu, volumes 3 and 4. So Familia Chronicle is a side story of the Danmachi series. This part following Lu, I think there's novel versions of it as well. They're like over here. And they did one novel of Freya and one novel of Lu, which I haven't gotten to read yet. I love Lu though. And then they started creating these manga volumes as well. And I think episode Lu has like 10 or something volumes. So very, very fun. Very, very cool. Love the Danmachi series. I've said it once. I'll say it again. My favorite fantasy of all time. I love Greek mythology, things like that. So this is a very, very exciting series. I gotta catch up on these. It's very fun. When's the anime coming out? Well, I guess I could put these like right here for now. I'll put them away later. All right, moving into this one. Now, I really don't know about this. I hear The Sunspot, Theory of Happiness by Yuki Fumino. This is a One Piece books volume, and to my understanding, this manga, I just bought this on a whim. I think it was like on sale at the Barnes and Noble. They were doing like a little sale thing. It was like buy one, get one half off or something like that. Select volumes. And so I bought this. This is a BL. This is a boys love, which already kind of up my alley. But this is a series I don't really know too much about. And I say series because I think there's other volumes, and I don't think this is the first one, to be honest. I really just bought this on a whim when I got it, but I think I'm gonna be able to read it. Oh wait, never mind. It says right here, due to the overwhelming success of I Hear the Sunspot. Okay, so this is the sequel, so I gotta go get the first one. Okay, well, this is a romance series with disability. So if you've heard me talk about like Sign of Affection and how much I love that series, this is very similar in that aspect. You have a character that is hard of hearing, that has a disability with hearing, often feels alone. Person comes in their life, fills their life whole. That's really all that I can say about it. I'm sorry if that's kind of cookie cutter, but I haven't read it yet, and I need to get the other one. We've got the next couple in here. So this first one that we've got here is Duke of Death and His Maid, Volume 7. I've enjoyed this series. I think The anime season 2 has actually started airing and I haven't watched it yet. Little silly of me. This is kind of like a supernatural rom-com mystery thing type as well. You have the main character and his maid. His maid is right here. The main character's not on this cover. Oh, he's right here. He was cursed by someone that where he kills everything he touches, and so his family set him off into this mansion on his own because, well, they didn't want to die by accident. And so he kind of, it's his everyday adventure along with this maid. And obviously, you know, romance, like they kind of fall in love. I mean, it's cute, it's fun, it's wholesome well, actually sometimes it's not, but like for the most part. But anyways, there's a lot more to that as well, because especially if you've watched the anime, they try to get into like his mystery as well, like his curse and stuff. Can they reverse it to be a couple that can hold hands, that could hug, you know, kiss, like all that stuff, like a normal relationship? So it's a very interesting twist on like the romance genre, especially when you like know that the two characters are very much into each other. It's very cool. Okay, moving along. Loner Life in Another World Volume 3. I don't remember buying this. I remember reading the first two. I liked the first two. This is a Kaiden book series. I did enjoy it. I know that this character, like, he and a bunch of his classmates get thrown into this other world and they have like levels and stuff like that, and he kind of invests in these levels for survival, not necessarily in terms of like being the strongest or whatever, stuff like that. It's kind of been a while actually since I've read this. I need to reread this. I enjoyed the series. That's why I bought this third volume. Need I tell you more? I should. Okay, going on to some of the hardbacks in the reprinted collection editions, we've got Soul Eater Volume 11. Soul Eater, one of the more classic kind of like shonen battle mystery kind of things. Like when people like my age, like 27, 25, you know, like that kind of age range, they think of like anime you grew up with. For a lot of people, Soul Eater is that one, that nostalgic people love. And so the Soul Eater Perfect Editions are very, very cool and clean editions of this series. Very, very well put together. Is this Square Enix? It is actually. I've enjoyed these volumes up to this point. I've enjoyed the Soul Eater story. Maybe not as much as I would have if I was like 12, 13 or whatever, but still a good read, especially when you're talking about a history and a piece of Soul Eater. Atsushi Okubo is also the creator of Fire Force. So I talked about this series earlier. I love that series. A really good 2 for 2 in terms of the volumes that I've read so far for this creator. And Soul Eater Perfect Edition, very, very cool. Magical, mystical, like kind of thing. Fantasy? Is it fantasy or is it supernatural? I feel like I'm calling a lot of things supernatural lately. It's still good. I forget the Wikipedia title for Mobile Suit Gundam, or the Wikipedia category that it gives, but it's like space. I've really loved Mobile Suit Gundam, A Witch from Mercury, so that has gotten me interested in trying the Mobile Suit Gundam series. And so Mobile Suit Gundam, probably the easiest way to pick it up in my opinion, is one of two different ways. One, Thunderbolt, or two, this series, The Origin. So I have loved these Origin volumes. I think they're so beautiful. They're so well put together. They're so pretty, and I cannot wait to get more into the Mobile Suit Gundam series. I've heard some good things about the Origin series as well, so very, very excited to get into this. Mobile Suit Gundam, something that I've definitely come into late into the party. I have not known it for 10 plus years across so many different series and iterations of Gundam, but I do own a Gundam. I built Ariel, which, by the way, Witch from Mercury, crazy. Another series that's pretty crazy in my opinion, and more of a horror aspect, is Parasite. So this is volume 3 of the full color editions of Parasite, and Parasite is not a series that is new by any means. This, I believe, was like being printed in the 80s and very, very popular when you talk about like pre-2000s horror. This is kind of a body horror series as well. Very, very good. I remember I showed up to a movie by accident because I went to the wrong theater, or thought I was going to the wrong theater. I showed up like an hour early. I had strategically gone to buy time at the Barnes & Noble. I ended up seeing Parasite, which is something that a lot of people have recommended to me over the years. And I saw the first full color collection edition of this book. And I remember I was almost late to the movie actually, because I enjoyed volume 1 so much that I just kept reading it. This is a fantastic series. This is a really, really good series. I'm excited to see where volume 3 goes in this spooky, scary, dramatic, thriller type adventure. Parasite, Hitoshi Iwaka, if you're a fan of like horror, or you're a fan of like just stuff that really impacts the modern history of different things like manga, this is one to put in your collection. This is one to grab. The full color editions as well, I think, are not too hard to get, and the single volumes too, I think, are actually printed pretty well still. I feel like I see them a lot. Continue on. This next one, it's climbing up as my favorite anime of all time. It's definitely top 5. I don't think it can surpass Danmachi and Chainsaw Man. I think it's above One Piece. It is volume number 23 of the light novels of Mushoku Tensei. So I just recently wrapped up season 2 of the anime. Thought it was phenomenal. Thought it was fantastic. Thought it was really well done. I cannot wait for the next edition of the anime series. Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation is an isekai, a fantasy isekai where this guy who is a nothing, really, gets a second chance at life, and so he is making the most out of this life. This series is real as well. I feel like this series does a really, really good job of not just like painting the perfect character. Sure, our main character, Rudius, is really, really strong, and that is very well shown early in the series, but Rudius has his faults as well. Over time, especially, you see this character fall and fall again in different aspects of his life. He is not just reincarnated and automatically a better person. He still has some of his past stuff in his previous life that I feel like a lot of us, if we were reincarnated like into another world hypothetically, would probably experience the same thing. So there's a level of relatability in this series in a weird aspect, because I've never been transported to another world, but a very, very cool series. I really enjoyed the volumes that I've read so far of this series. I haven't read as much as what I've watched in the anime, but something that I've really enjoyed in the novels that I really hope continues in the volumes is the idea of like the different perspectives. It's really, really cool in this series to see scenes seen through other eyes of different characters in Rudius's adventures. Very, very cool. Very, very wonderful. I gotta keep going or else I'll talk about this all day. I mentioned this creator earlier, Tatsuya Endo. This is the other volume that I teased about earlier. Blade of the Moon Princess, story and art by Tatsuya Endo. This is volume 1. This is a brand new release by Viz, I think. Yeah, Viz Media. Very, very cool, especially with the success of Spy Family, really just showing off a bunch of the other works that Tatsuya Endo is created over the years. I have not read this yet, so I can't really tell you much about it like I could Tista, but I think it follows the same concept of like person lives a double life, something that Tatsuya Endo has done again and again. So I'm very interested to read this. I'm very curious to see how it goes. Some of the similarities that I can see in like Spy Family, Tista stuff really reflect in this series, or maybe something that makes it super, super unique. I'm not 100% sure. If you've read this already, because it has come out for like a week or so, let me know what you think in the comments. I forgot that I also got this volume earlier, or else I would have shown it with the other Chainsaw Man volume. Chainsaw Man volume 12. I've already read this book because I'm pretty much up to date in the online manga, because Chainsaw Man, favorite series of all time. Really liked how part 2 really started, or volume 12. You know, part 1 ended with volume 11, and now we're into part 2 of the series. It's been really, really good in my opinion. I don't know if it could live up to the hype that part 1 did. I think it's very unfair to hold part 2 to the same standard as what part 1 set, but I do not necessarily consider part 2 a downgrade to the series. I don't think it makes the series worse, in my opinion. Sure, it might not be the exact same thing in the exact same style, but there is still a lot of aspects and a lot of creativity that make Tatsuki Fujimoto's, arguably, I think it is his most famous work, still very, very much enjoyable, and I can't wait to see where things continue out there. It still makes me laugh from time to time in the online chapters that release, and hopefully I get another one soon. Hopefully volume 13 comes. I think volume 14 was just got an announcement date. Okay, but going into the seinen romance again, Insomniacs After School. So I really loved the first like 6 episodes of Insomniacs After School, and now I'm hooked on the series. Now, because again, moving, I need to catch up to the rest of the series, but I believe the episodes that I've watched go a little bit farther than volume 1 of the series. So very fun. You have 2 kids here in high school that are insomniacs, and so they feel alone a lot of time, misunderstood, and so they connect, you know, because they're both insomniacs. I think the series also is or has recently ended in terms of its manga run. I'm not 100% sure, so it's not going to be like a super long series if you're looking to get into a new kind of really good romance series as well. That's not like super mushy gushy or not like your typical shonen stuff. This is seinen goodness right here, and let me tell you, I need to continue watching this because I miss this series, to be honest. Okay, but another series that is way more dark, way more twisted, and actually one of my favorite new ones that have released. The first volume released like over the summer, I think. It is The Horizon Volume 2. So the same creator of The Boxer, JH. This is Volume 2 of a series. So there was a war essentially that happened in this land, and these 2 kids have survived, and so it's their journey across in this world trying to find help, trying to survive, things like that. Volume 1 was really good. I really enjoyed it. It surprised me how much I enjoyed it, because in this series, I won't keep this a secret from you, but it doesn't have too many words. It is mainly just illustrations. It is pictures, but the illustrations and the pictures are so well done that I like often forget when I was reading volume 1 that it doesn't have words. It portrays the feelings, and it portrays exactly what you need to know very well. Very cool series. Very excited about it. I think it's a 4-volume series, so we're about halfway done. I could have lied about that. I don't know of what it's at, if it's still printing, if it's done after 4. I'm pretty sure it's done after 4. But anyway, this Ize Press series, if you want 2 Ize Press series that you should definitely pick up no matter what, even though they didn't send me this volume, pick up The Horizon and pick up The Boxer, because I love The Boxer. All right, this next one I have, Coffee Moon. This is another Yen Press series. So this is an interesting one in my opinion. So like, I picked up volume 1 because I was like, coffee. I like coffee, but it doesn't really have much to do with coffee. This is a series around the idea of Groundhog's Day. So I read volume 1 recently after having it for a while, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the art was really cool. I thought the story and its characters, especially where volume 1 ended, were really great as well. Very interesting story about this girl who experiences the same day over and over again, and then finding some more things to unshroud the mystery. I don't know how to say it without spoiling volume 1. Go pick up volume 1. I think 3 volumes are out right now, so I'm technically behind a volume, but I think I'm gonna read this one before I go get the next one, just to kind of moderate myself. But very fun, very cool. Now we have volume 8 of Blue Lock. So Blue Lock, like I mentioned earlier with sports, I mentioned it when I was talking about The Boxer. This is another like not traditional sports series. Blue Lock, people are put, it's like a battle royale soccer kind of thing. Very cool, very fun twist of soccer with individualistic ideologies while also team-oriented ideologies. Especially through the first several volumes, it's had really good twists and turns and like different things that come up. Like, it's definitely like a battle action, like shonen battle series now that I think about it. It's very well done. I very much enjoy it. I'm excited to see where it continues going, because I don't know, I mean, even though I know soccer, even though I really like soccer, like, this is different. It's cool. It's very unique in that aspect as well. That's another thing that I want to say about Blue Lock. All right, Mashal, Magic and Muscles. So meet fantasy and comedy, but just really well drawn as well, and that is Mashal, Magic and Muscles. I'm a little bit behind on Mashal. I read it a ton in the very beginning, and I'm a couple volumes behind, but we'll catch up eventually. Hajime Komoto has done an excellent job with this story, and art. It is done phenomenal. The anime aired as well, I think recently, but I didn't watch it, not because I didn't like it or because I didn't want to support it. I just didn't have time to watch it. So let me know if you checked it out. There is a full season of anime under the belt of this series, so you can check it out for free, or, well, I guess it's not free because you probably have to have a Crunchyroll membership, but anyways, if you have watched it, maybe you don't want to spend $10 a volume, let me know how you felt about it, because I really like Mashal, Magic and Muscles. It's got great comedy in it. It's got great art, really good fights as well. Very, very good. But a series that is also one of my favorites. Oh man, if I have a top 5, what is my top 5? Danmachi, Chainsaw Man, Mushoku Tensei. Ooh, I think this series is in there as well. It is Call of the Night Volume 13. So I really, really loved Call of the Night. I loved the anime. I loved the manga. It is beautiful, it is wonderful, and it did a really, really good job, in my opinion. There's been like 2 parts essentially in the manga. There was part 1, which was like the first, I would say like 9 volumes or so. And then there's been part 2. And I think the transition has been wonderful. The pacing in this story as well has been absolutely fantastic. Another Insomniac kind of kid comes across a vampire, and the vampire bites him, but he doesn't turn into a vampire. He wants to find out, how do I turn into a vampire? He's got to fall in love with the vampire when they bite him. This guy kind of feels incapable at times of falling in love, and so he's trying to search for that feeling. And there's a lot of mystery revolving around vampires. There's a lot of action as well, because, by the way, when you get bit by a vampire, you got to turn into a vampire within 100 days, or else like you either can't turn into a vampire ever again or you die. Neither of those results fit our main protagonist, so he is trying his darnest to really just go after it. I love this series. It's very, very good. Really, really, really good art by Kotoyama in this series. Gosh, I can't wait for more of this, especially the anime. Now we have My Dress Up Darling Volume 9, and you can tell how much manga I've been reading lately in my move, because this is still wrapped actually. My Dress Up Darling Volume 9. Love My Dress Up Darling. If you are big in the romance, maybe you want something a little bit more romance side of things in comparison to Call of the Night, where there's a lot more like action-y stuff like that, My Dress Up Darling is a great series. This is a really, really cool series as well, because I'm sure you've maybe heard this before, but in this series, it's about acceptance of one another, right? These characters accept different things about themselves, love about themselves, or love about each other. Yeah, I think that's the right way to put it. And it's just a really, really wholesome, fun series to read. There's a great comedy in this as well. There's some parental advising moments, not anything too crazy. It's definitely not smut, but it's a really, really fun series that I've enjoyed, and the anime was super well adapted as well. And if you've watched the anime and you're worried that the manga is going to feel like a downgrade, don't worry about that. Trust, it is just as enjoyable in my opinion. Another romance series that is a little bit more lighthearted and a little bit more wholesome is Shikimoris Not Just. This is volume 5, so I think this goes into like the field day. Shikimori's Not Just a good series in my opinion. I really, really enjoyed it. I love Shikimori. She's up there as some of the best girl in my opinion. Very, very cool, very, very fun, really enjoyable in my opinion. The art in here as well, the art I think is really, really well done. This is one of the series that I feel like I'm kind of enjoying the art just as much as the anime. And the anime, oh man, when they go on like the boat ride or whatever and they do the thing, not that thing, the other thing. No, not that. Stop it. That was really well animated in my opinion. And this series does just a great job in general of doing that. It's another great romance series. I'll just keep saying. So I bought volume 3 of The Boxer, and I forgot that I bought volume 3 of The Boxer. I've loved this series. It's been so fun. It's been so good. And go read The Boxer. Okay, back to seriousness. If you love kind of influential series and influential marks on the manga and anime history, Rumiko Takahashi has done that. One of the all-time, I would say, like female creators in the manga space. Like if you were to name like 5 female creators, Rumiko Takahashi is probably one of them. So many different works across the test of time, really. This one, Myan Eku, another beloved one that I think has been getting a lot of raves lately from like Boogie Snacks and things like that over the last year or so, as these kind of like, well, they're not Viz big. Viz signature volumes are releasing. These are very, very cool. These are very fun, high quality. Love these sleeves and things like that. And this cover as well is just gorgeous. I'm trying to figure out when this series was originally printed. 1992, just as old as Clamp. So very, very cool, very, very fun. It's getting harder to find these volumes, by the way. So if you're interested, maybe try to read online or pick up the first volume now before it's really hard to find. Let's talk about another old series. This is Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko, the deluxe editions. This is volume 3 of these deluxe editions. Very, very beautiful as well. So you have this robot here, this think of like Vivi, like that kind of robot, and she runs this coffee shop, and it's kind of the daily adventures where humanity is honestly kind of ending. But even though humanity's ending and stuff, she's just sitting there running her coffee shop, you know, having a good time. It's the daily adventures, it's the friends that she makes along the way. It's just a fun, wholesome, like relaxing adventure. So very, very excited to continue reading this. Volume 1 was really, really good. I haven't gotten into volume 2 or 3, but I'm sold on the series because of how beautiful it is, how well done it is. Again, an older series as well. Let me try to find, I should prepare this. Well, not too old. It's 2010. I mean, it's 13 years old now, I guess. Maybe, I mean, some people probably watching this video maybe weren't alive then. Maybe they were. Maybe you were real young though. Maybe you don't remember the series at all when you were young. Maybe this is an older series, I don't know, but very, very fun, very, very cool. And if you're looking for a relaxing kind of setting as well, not into the high intensity, that's a good one to do. But if you like high intensity and you like drama, Yakuza Fiance Volume 4. This is intense. This series kind of makes me uncomfortable, but like, it's really good. These two kind of like head family clans, whatever, 2 kids. They're supposed to get married, whatever, but kind of forced. The dude is like really intense, hardcore Yakuza, and she's got to try to be tougher than that, she's decided. So it's crazy. It's intense, very, very good. The art is well done as well. I've really enjoyed it, and it could be something that you should check out. Okay, another art that I really, really love, Solo Leveling. This is volume 7 of this manhwa over by Ize Press. Solo Leveling, easily my favorite manhwa, I would say. Not easily, no. Is it my favorite? I don't know, the boxer, man. It's up there definitely in my top 3. It's for sure in my top 3 in terms of favorites. This one, Solo Leveling, has that video gamey aspect like I was mentioning for some other series earlier, and I think I even gave the example of Solo Leveling. Guy, really, really weak, ends up coming across this thing, and now he's insane. He's broken. He's cracked. Very, very cool. Great art in this series, especially in its fights. It is very battle heavy in this series. Very, very good. Very, very well thought out and very well drawn, very illustrated, very prettily. I don't think that sentence really made sense, but anyways, Solo Leveling. Also the anime, when's the anime coming out? This next one, Chojun X Volume 3 by Sui Ishida, the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. Now, I love Tokyo Ghoul. I think Tokyo Ghoul is phenomenal, and I haven't really read the manga. I thought the anime was super good. I mean, I liked it a lot, but the manga is insane. Sui Ishida is an incredible, insane, awesome seinen creator, and so this one, Chojun X, is their latest work. I have not really read it yet though, so I can't tell you, but I do know some people that really, really enjoy the series and really hype the series up, so I'm excited to get into this series soon. This first one I will hype up to no end because I really think that this is a series that you should get on your radar before the anime comes out. It is volume 1 of Akane Banashi. This is a series about Rakugo. If you do not know like what Rakugo is, it's kind of like one-person storytelling. In the art of Rakugo, you put on a show. You have different voices that you cast, different mannerisms to portray different characters, different scenes, different things that happen in your story. An art and a tradition that has gone on for generations. This girl wants to become an incredible Bakugan. I don't know what the word I was trying to think of is, but I remember reading this online shortly after it first released, and I loved the series. Even reading it, I felt like I really enjoyed and really got into the stories. Like, the voice actors in my head were just absolutely phenomenal in telling this. The paneling is really well done in this series. The art is well done, expressing exactly what you need to feel in this story. Very, very cool. I'm sure a lot of people have hyped this up. I think it's been out since like August or something like that, but you should definitely read this. It's an all-time. Another one that you should read, Welcome to Demon School, Aruma-kun. So this is volume 3. I love this series. This series is so funny. I haven't seen the anime on this, but I read volume 1 over in the spring, and this series is super funny. It actually made me cackle like out loud. Not a lot of series have done that. This is about a kid whose parents sell him off to demons, and the demon that takes this kid enlists him in demon school. Demons, by the way, eat kids. So this kid has to pretend in demon school that he is a demon, or else he will die. Maybe. Status unclear. Probably. This is a fun and wacky kind of high school comedy. Very, very cool. Very fun. I really, really enjoy this one. I look forward to new volumes as they release out here in the US, and I can't wait for volume 4 to pick it up and put it on my bookshelf and just really just take it in and enjoy. It is definitely climbing up the ranks, I feel like, in terms of like just fun, silly comedy. Like, not even super serious or anything like that. Just fun, stupid, laughing comedy. Like, the SpongeBob lovers will love this. It's me, I'm SpongeBob lover. This next series, though, I can't really tell you about it because I don't really know anything about it, but I've heard a couple people enjoy this series and are looking forward to volume 2. This is volume 1 of I Don't Know Which Is Love. So this is a person, I believe this gal, she's obsessed with like getting a girlfriend. Like, she really, really, really wants to get a girlfriend, but have not had any luck. But in college now, where there's a lot of people and a lot of people you really don't know, the options seem unlimited for her. So this, I've heard, is a fun series. I've heard is a good series, at least through the first volume, a very well done volume 1. I have not read it yet, so I can't really give my thoughts on it, but I'm excited to read. I think this is Yen Press. Yeah, I'm excited to read this Yen Press series, to get into it, to enjoy it, because I feel like it's been a while since I've really like read a new Yuri series, you know, and really got into a new Yuri series that wasn't like Adachi and Shimamura and stuff like that, which I've been into for a while. So this will be cool. We'll see how this goes. All right, moving into a couple series that have been around for a hot minute and maybe you know of. This first one is Fairy Tail Volume 11. So I got Fairy Tail a lot in the beginning of these videos and stuff like that in my manga collection, but I really halted for some reason, and not because I didn't enjoy the series. I actually really like this series. I think Hiro Mishima has done a good job in the first 10 volumes that I've read of the series. Very fun, cool adventure of our fire eater. So we'll see where this like episodic adventure goes in the Fairy Tail saga of fantasy funland or whatever. I don't really know what to call it. But the reason that I've been so slow with this is because I've been determined, like, now that I know that box sets are a thing in this series. I've got volume 11. That's the end of box set 1. So from now on, I will just buy the series in box sets. Like, just get them in bulk real quick. You know, it's not too hard to find. But one that I've committed so far, and if there's a box set incoming, it will not stop me from continuing to buy the single volumes. It is volumes 22 and 23 of Haiku. That is it. The #1 sports anime, in my opinion, sports series. Super enjoy this series. Haiku volleyball, very good. Where does volume 23 go? I don't know where I'm at in the anime. I'm not caught all the way up in the anime. I've still got a bit to go before I catch up, but I think this is actually past the anime. So curious to see how it goes. This is more of your traditional sports anime, if you've ever thought about that, where it's like, yeah, go team. Very cool. Very fun. Highly encourage it for all sports fans. I better make this one quick. I don't know if this is going to get me in trouble on YouTube. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro volume 15. It's not usually this is a fun, whole, I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It's a rom-com. It's very, very fun. Your typical teasing like series where it's like gal pokes fun at boy a lot and then they find out that they're like in love. It's very, very good. I think the series has been doing a phenomenal job so far in this. I very much enjoyed where the plot has been going in these episodes. I still got to finish the next season that recently aired of this anime. I gotta finish that. I gotta finish a lot of series, to be honest. Right now I got a lot of books to read and I still haven't started Frere and Beyond Journeys and the anime because I've loved the manga. But anyways, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's a great rom-com series. I really like the bindings as well of these different colors. Super beautiful on a bookshelf. Now we've got back into the light novels. The Detective Is Already Dead. This is volume 6. Detective Is Already Dead is like a psychological drama kind of deal. Very much mysterious, some supernatural elements inside of it about this detective. And I don't know where it's going at this point. I haven't caught up this far. I'm farther than the anime. I think I'm like 3 novel volumes deep. So I really like this series. It's very, very good. It's intriguing. It like, what am I trying to say? It's got me hooked. Like, it's just very interesting in how it's thought out, especially so far ahead of itself. And I don't know if it's more like a reactive kind of thing where like things are getting twisted in and tied in because they're like, oh yeah, because that thing happened earlier, we can do it into this, or if it's like some sort of elaborate plan that was very well morphed way ahead, or kind of like a FNAF kind of thing where like it's a little bit of both. But very, very great series. I highly encourage it, especially the novels. I think the novels are really, really well written. I think the anime is good, but I think the novels are better. Okay, just a couple more, I swear. We've got Vinland Saga volumes 9 and 10 in here. So gosh, I can't even like show them both on this. So Vinland Saga, an excellent series as well. Love the Vinland Saga series. Very, very intense, but very interesting. It'll be intense at first, but I think it really like kind of calms down after a little bit. So very, very cool in how it does that kind of style. This, again, epic. I mean, this is about, what are these people called? They're not pirates. Voyagers? The people from like Iceland that like sail on the boats and they wear those helmet things that are like dwarves. No, why is Voyagers in my, anyways, Vikings. It's the age of Vikings. And so there's a lot of different, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in this series, and it is very highly regarded as like a mix of shonen seinen kind of deal. I'm not 100% sure if it's categorized in a single one, but I think having read a good chunk of this series, I think it can be considered both. A great job by Makoto Yukimura. Excellent series. I get excited every time I see another one that's like, I've got the ability to get, you know, now I've got to look for volume 11 and then 12 and then 13, and then I think I'm caught up. They're also coming in these like perfect editions as well, or like these deluxe editions that you could definitely get if you want to catch up to the series quick. It's a pretty penny though. Well, I talked about wanting to get more into Yuri earlier in a new series. Here's another one, Whisper Me a Love Song. I think this is an anime that's coming out here very soon. I think this is why I bought this volume. I've heard really good things about this series. I don't know much about it except it's really cute and really fun. Maybe somebody lied to me, who knows? But anyways, again, if you're looking for a pair of new Yuri series that you want to get in and enjoy, Whisper Me a Love Song and I Don't Know Which Is Love, both newer series that you can get into. Okay, just 4 books to go, and this first one I can tell you about, Banished from the Hero's Party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. This is volume 9, so this is meant to be more of a slower kind of slice of life series. If you haven't seen the anime adaptation that aired last year, maybe 2 years ago, ooh, it was good. This is about a guy who was in the hero's party, but then he got kicked out of the hero's party, and so he decided to open up an apothecary in this quiet town in the countryside and just live a normal life, you know, no adventures, no risk of dying really from like monsters or enemies, things like that, just living his life. And sure, there are some things that come along the way that kind of deter him from being able to do that, but overall very fun, very lighthearted, very cool. They did also release a video game, I remember. I think it's on Steam. If you like Stardew Valley, I recommend looking this up. I think it kind of follows the anime a little bit. I've put a little bit into the game. I've tried it out. I don't really play video games too much because I just don't, I'd rather put my time into like manga and stuff. But this is a very, very fun series. I like this series. Very soft, very easy to read, very enjoyable as well. So go check this out. I think I've read like the first 3 volumes of the light novels, and then the anime season goes farther than that. Now, a series that I haven't checked out the anime yet, but I really enjoyed volume 1, it's Heavenly Delusion volume 2. So kind of like Darling in the Franxx, there are these kids that are like in this society, right? But that's like part of the mystery, because the main characters like spend half the time in this society in the past, but also like a portion in the future outside, or what I assume is outside of the society. It's really, really interesting. It's very mysterious as well, and I've heard it's really, really good in terms of the anime. Like, I think the anime adaptation did a really, really good job. So this coming from Denpa, love the people over at Denpa, y'all do great work. I appreciate your hard work. Heavenly Delusion volume 2, I need to get more of these. I need to get more into these. I need to keep reading this series because, well, actually the hype phase is really ended, I would say, because the anime finished airing. So if you start seeing these volumes, you could probably pick it up for a good time being. You can take your time reading it a little bit until like the next season or something. I actually don't know if there's going to be another season. Did it end? I don't really know. I've just read the first volume. All right, moving in a big giant volume, as you can see as it shakes the camera, Homunculus. This is volume 1 and 2. Now, I know that volume 3 and 4, I think, has already released. This is by 7 Seas. I have not gotten that yet. It took me a long time to be able to get this one. It took forever to find this, and as soon as I found it, I bought it because I really want to get into this. Just like what was that, Parasite? Just like Parasite, people have recommended this series to me left and right. This is a series that is dramatic. This is a series that I believe is intense, and again, I haven't read it yet, but I think it's going to be something that I'm really, really going to enjoy, and I'm really excited to finally get my hands on this, and finally not having to think about moving across America 2,000 miles. I'm gonna have the time now to sit down and read this series and see if volumes 3 and 4 is something worth investing, worth getting into. Very, very cool. If you're interested in it, again, you know, there's only 2 omnibus volumes out right now, so it is very easy to get into and very easy to get if you can find these volumes. And the last one, the one that I do not recommend buying at MSRP because it's expensive, so buy it at discounted prices. I think Amazon is doing a thing right now if you have a coupon, but I have the 2nd deluxe edition volume of Berserk. Berserk, a highly regarded series. I think a new volume just came out in Japan of Berserk, and I think it's like a top selling volume, like top 4, top 5 selling volume in the last week. So Berserk, a very beloved and very iconic as well seinen series. Very, very good from what I've heard, and I read the deluxe edition volume 1, which I think is like 2 tankobon volumes or something like that, 2 or 3. I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of mystery inside the main character. There's a lot of action as well. The action is incredible in the series. Very, very good. I obviously haven't read this yet because, as you can tell, it's still in the packaging wrap, but I will be getting to it here soon. So make sure to look out for my opinions on that, whether that's on Twitter, in a YouTube video, or even in the Discord server where you can talk about your favorite series, new releases, things like that. Your hauls you can showcase in our Discord server. It's free to join. And so that's it. That's all the manga. Again, thank you again so much to everyone who's been sticking around. You know, I again moved all the way across the country, so it's been a little difficult within the last like month and a half as I've been interviewing, you know, preparing to move, moving, starting this new job to create content. But hopefully we're going to be back in action shortly. For all of you people that watch the streams and stuff that we've been doing on YouTube, which will come back soon, I gotta upgrade the internet first before I do that. So hopefully that gets in soon, so then we can continue streaming again. I still want to keep playing Inscription. A couple other games as well have come up on my radar. I actually haven't played the Pokemon DLC yet. I've strayed away from it, so we can go check that out. Thank you so much for watching and making it to the end of this. I really enjoyed this and really hope you did too. So come back again soon. Let us know what you got in the comments below, and I hope to see you again soon, I guess. I don't know. Sound like a broken record.